We just watched the 4 college years of Caitlin Clark, and a question sticks out. What can't she do?
We are watching one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Time magazine recently bestowed the honor of Athlete of the Year upon WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark, cementing her status as one of the most electrifying talents in modern sports. Yet, while many celebrated her achievements, a storm of criticism began swirling among conservative commentators over remarks made during one of her high-profile interviews. The uproar centered not on her play or her stats.
Anyway, Time magazine also chose WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark as their Athlete of the Year.
But on her candid reflection about her love for the league, a league she grew up idolizing, inspired by legends such as Maya Moore, and dedicated to uplifting a lineage of extraordinary Black women who have helped shape its identity over the past 25 years. In her unfiltered discussion, Clark explained that every accolade and moment of triumph in her career was hard-won. "I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me," she insisted, emphasizing that her lifelong fandom of the league, dating back to when she first admired Maya Moore, was not merely a passing interest, but a deep-rooted connection that motivated her to excel.
Okay, here's the problem. A lot of conservatives are having a fit over her interview, and here's what they're so mad about. Watch.
Into the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened.
This emotional honesty, however, did not sit well with all audiences. For some conservative voices, her remarks sparked a fit, igniting debates that extended far beyond the boundaries of sports. The conversation took an unexpected twist when Caitlin Clark made headlines for her decision to skip the NBA's highly publicized three-point contest. In what many are now calling a watershed moment, Clark's choice was not a casual dismissal of an event, but rather a carefully considered statement about where her loyalties lie. In a sports environment where women's basketball is often overshadowed by the NBA's glittering spectacle, Clark's decision to focus solely on the WNBA sends a resounding message.
Me over the course of my career, but also I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about, and like I said,
women's basketball is not merely an afterthought or a supplement to the NBA's brand. It is an autonomous sport that deserves its own recognition and respect. Her reasoning behind this bold move was layered and nuanced. Critics and analysts alike began to speculate. Was Clark tired of the NBA using the appeal of women's basketball merely as a backdrop for its own hype? Or was this a deliberate, principled stand to reinforce the value and integrity of the WNBA? Whatever the underlying motives, the decision has since sparked heated debates, with pundits and fans passionately discussing its implications. Even ESPN, one of the major voices in sports media, couldn't resist weighing in on the unfolding drama. For those who study the game, the narrative surrounding Clark is a fascinating blend of on-court brilliance and off-court defiance. Her performance this season has been nothing short of phenomenal. Every assist, every defensive stop, and every long-range shot a testament to her skill and determination.
said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years, so I know there's been so many amazing Black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important, and that's something I'm very aware of.
Yet, it is her willingness to challenge the status quo, to choose substance over spectacle, that has transformed her into a symbol of modern women's basketball. Delving deeper into the personal dynamics of Clark's career, it is clear that her influence extends far beyond her own statistics. In a conversation that sheds light on her leadership and mentorship, one of her coaches shared how Clark's high standards have elevated not only her play, but also the entire team's performance. "I never want to stop learning or being challenged," the coach remarked, emphasizing that Clark holds everyone around her, including herself, to an exacting standard.
It's a long-distance delivery.
Indiana wants to run, that's why.
This relentless drive for improvement is part of what makes her such a magnetic figure in the league. On the court, her energy is contagious. Whether it's orchestrating brilliant assists, delivering pinpoint passes that seem to defy gravity, or consistently stepping up in crucial moments, Clark's presence is a catalyst for her team's success. Yet it is not merely her athletic prowess that garners attention, it is her dedication to pushing boundaries, both for herself and for the sport as a whole. By choosing to concentrate her efforts on the WNBA and its All-Star Weekend, rather than participating in the NBA's glitzy events, Clark has reinforced a message that resonates deeply with fans and fellow athletes alike. This decision underscores her belief that true progress for women's basketball comes from within, rather than by borrowing the limelight of the more dominant NBA. It's a philosophy rooted in authenticity and self-determination.
These are the best touchdown passes that Caitlin Clark slings out throughout her career.
You've seen it here in the WNBA, just looking ahead, and Lexi Hall knows.
A sentiment echoed by many who see her as the embodiment of a new era in sports. Yet, with great success often comes great scrutiny. As Clark's star continues to rise, the media machine has been quick to latch onto every nuance of her decisions, sometimes. At the heart of this controversy is a much larger conversation about autonomy in sports. Caitlin Clark is not merely another rising star. She is a force of nature whose every decision challenges the conventions of a system that has long relegated women's achievements to the sidelines. Her choice to sidestep the NBA's three-point contest is emblematic of a broader struggle for respect and recognition, one that extends beyond the hardwood and into the very fabric of sports culture.
I never want to stop being told what's right, what's wrong, no matter how good I play, how bad I play. Like, there's always things to learn, things to get better at, and that's what I love about her is she holds me to a very...
For many athletes, the allure of NBA events is undeniable. The flash, the fanfare, and the promise of national exposure can be powerful incentives. But for Clark, the decision was clear. Her allegiance belongs with the WNBA, the league that nurtured her passion for basketball from a very young age. In her own words, she explained that she has always been committed to learning and growing, both as a player and as a person, and that her focus remains on contributing to the legacy of the league that inspired her dreams. In choosing to prioritize the WNBA All-Star Weekend over the NBA's spectacle, Clark is making a bold declaration about the future of women's basketball. It is a move that reasserts the independence of the league, insisting that its success does not hinge on the shadow of its male counterpart. Rather, it is built on the talents and dedication of athletes who refuse to be defined by external expectations.
very high standard, and yeah, she's gonna get on me because she knows there's still areas for me to improve, and this team relies on me a lot, whether it's emotionally.
This decision has reverberated throughout the sports world, igniting debates and forcing both fans and critics to confront the long-standing double standards that have plagued women's sports for far too long. Indeed, the very notion that women's basketball needs to be validated by association with the NBA is one that many are now questioning. Clark's actions serve as a rallying cry for a new era, one in which the WNBA is celebrated on its own terms, and where athletes are empowered to define their own narratives.
Or to score, or to bring the energy, and I think that's just always something that, she holds me to a high standard in that regard, and that's something I really appreciate.
It is a moment of reckoning for a sports industry that has often underestimated the power of women's athleticism, passion, and resilience. The impact of Caitlin Clark's decision extends far beyond the headlines and social media debates. In locker rooms, training sessions, and fan gatherings, her commitment to the WNBA is resonating with people on a deeply personal level. Teammates have spoken candidly about how her leadership has transformed not only the dynamics of the game, but also the culture within the team. In one heartfelt conversation, a coach revealed that Clark's constant drive for excellence compels everyone around her to elevate their own performances. Whether it's on the defensive end or in orchestrating the offense, she holds herself and her teammates accountable, inspiring a level of unity and dedication that is rarely seen. Moreover,
the cheat code that's made every single WNBA player and star is. I'll get into it in just a minute, but I gotta be honest, right.
This is not the first time that a pioneering athlete has faced backlash simply for defying the established order. Throughout sports history, countless figures, from basketball legends to track and field pioneers, have been met with resistance when they challenged the status quo. Yet, it is precisely these moments of defiance that have spurred progress and innovation in the world of athletics. Clark's actions remind us that true greatness is not measured solely by individual statistics or media narratives.
From the start, I wouldn't be surprised if Caitlin Clark won the WNBA MVP next year. Seriously, she was the first rookie since Candace Parker in 2008 to be named All-WNBA.
But by the ability to transform an entire sport through unwavering commitment to one's principles. In the wake of her decision, conversations among fans and analysts have grown increasingly nuanced. Some argue that by declining the invitation to participate in the NBA's contest, Clark risks isolating herself from a broader audience, Others counter that her steadfast focus on the WNBA is precisely what is needed to propel the league into a new era of respect and visibility.
The correct decision in telling Adam Silver to go kick rocks, telling the NBA, you know what, maybe we'll revisit this in a couple days when some things...
These debates underscore the complex interplay between individual choice and collective progress, a dynamic that is at the very core of what makes sports such a powerful cultural force. Even within the media, there is a growing recognition that the narrative around women's basketball is shifting. No longer will the success of the WNBA be measured by its ability to dovetail with NBA events.
Maybe we'll revisit this when you guys get closer to All-Star Weekend and are really scrambling to find a reason for anybody to sit down and watch NBA.
Or by how often its stars are featured in the same breath as their male counterparts. Instead, voices like Caitlin Clark's are championing a more autonomous vision, one where the achievements of women's sports stand on their own merit, independent of external validation. For athletes of Clark's caliber, every decision is laden with meaning and consequence. Her choice to skip the NBA's three-point contest is emblematic of a deeper,